Hey guys, so I am here. Sorry for the delay. As y'all can see, I am rocking my natural today. Got my fro out. So it was a little, she needed to be tamed a little bit. So that's why it took me a little while to get on here. But I am here and I am excited. A little change of scenery tonight. Gotta rock out with what I got, right? And I am so happy to be with you guys tonight. Let me start off by saying welcome to Think Different TV. My name is Lashia. I am your host. Welcome to all of those who've been rocking out with me since day one. And also welcome to all of those who are just joining in, just learning. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'm rocking my fro. Hey. Everybody that is just now finding out about Think Different TV, thank you so much for tuning in. I am super excited to run the show with you, and I can't do the show without my sponsors, so let me shout out my sponsors really quickly. So one is Anointed Ads. Anointed Ads is an award-winning graphic design and website company. All right, and he has 14 years experience, over 100 websites created. And get this, he is so professional, so down to earth. He's ready to get your project started just as much as you're ready to get your project started. So when you're ready, you mentioned Think Different TV, you get 15% off. 15% off of your project that you do with him, right? And also, when you're ready to get started, you can always reach him right here on Instagram at Anointed Ads, or you can like him on Facebook, or you can visit his website, or you can just call him at 609-534-0237. He is ready to get things started, you guys. And then my other lovely sponsor is Euphoria Water, the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. All right. Alkaline water with minerals, no chemicals, no additives, none of that crazy stuff, because we want to hydrate the right way. And I actually have my gallon. I'm ready to get started. I might be just drinking right out of the bottle today because I'm spontaneous like that. But when you're ready to put in your order, you just go to Euphoria Water right here on IG, or you can call 267-707-8279. That way you can get everything started. So guys, those are my sponsors. I'm super, super excited to get this show started with you guys. And this is the reason why, because I have a very serious topic that I want to discuss tonight. And I know I didn't want to get too deep with it, but it's something that needs to be addressed, and I wanted to choose my show to address it. So it's my show, do what I want, right? And I also have a little switch up today. I don't have an artist that I'm spotlighting tonight. I will resume that next week because I have some amazing things in the works. So yes. But next week we have an amazing, actually a duo. 2 solo artists that came together and just blowing it up right now. So I'm super excited. I'm going to get things ready so that we can throw a party next week, okay? This week, y'all got me. We're going to discuss the topic, and then I also have an amazing financial tip. That's why I wanted to make sure that I dedicated a lot of time to the social topic and also the financial tip. And the spotlight artist we'll talk about next week. All right. So the social topic for tonight is social media. How young is too young? How old is too old? Let's talk about this real quick. Now I'm going to touch on it briefly. How old is too old? I mean, we're getting to this age where 50 is not old, okay? 50 is right in line with, everything that is, everything, like, let's go 50 years old will put you in the 70s, right? So this is when technology is coming of age and everything like that. They pretty much grew up with the technology too, with the social media and everything like that. So how old is too old? I mean, I've seen some fire grandmoms on Instagram just rocking it out. But then I'm like, they not really like grandmoms. Like, they not in their 70s. They like 50s, 55. So let me see. I don't even think I think the older the people are, they pretty much are put on social media by their kids or their grandkids. Like, grandmom, you gotta have a social media. They really don't know how to work the thing. But I know at one point in time in the future, like when I'm 70, I'm gonna know how to do Instagram if it's still around. Pretty much it probably still will be. And Facebook, and I know how to do all that stuff. So I wouldn't be too out of touch. By then it'd probably be something totally new that we're gonna be getting acquainted with. So who knows? But how young is too young is what I really want to focus on tonight, because I'm seeing some things where it's these young kids that have these social media profiles, and for the most part, some of the parents are actually monitoring those. Hi, Taisha. How you doing? The let's talk money girl. We gotta talk money one of these days. We gotta get out here, get out to North Carolina. I know you've been asking me. Listen, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But listen, I've seen these profiles. I've seen these kids on Reels and TikTok, and they getting out of hand, y'all. And they getting exposed to a lot of stuff that I don't think they should be seeing on social media. It's a whole hodgepodge of different ages, and because it's social media, and because it is it seems like it's worldwide now. It's global. Like, it's like a lot of people have Facebook, even over yonder, over across the pond. Everybody has a social media. So you have these young kids being exposed to people in different countries, older people. It's unsafe. Okay, if you don't monitor your child on social media, it can get crazy. And that's what my point is. I recently saw a reel, because, when you create a reel, you have an audio. And the audio is like, it's shared, and sometimes you can click on the audio and you see how many different reels, or TikTok for Instagram, how many TikToks have been created using that particular audio. But the thing about it is that some of these audios have very explicit language in it. Is not something that a child should be saying, let alone mouthing the words to mimic it. It's a lot of craziness, and it's it could present something to someone else, like someone who do not have the best intentions, seeing a child on TikTok, on Reels, saying this stuff, and nobody actively monitoring it and seeing if they are actually, being a child on social media. When a predator sees that someone is not monitoring them and not calling them out and not pulling it down, they're like, this kid is fair game. I can now start a conversation with this child. And a lot of people say, oh, well, that's why it's so crazy how they say, oh, well, she was 15, but she was on social media. She was talking to this older guy, and she was saying suggestive stuff. But it's like, it's never blame put on the predator that was talking to this young child. Is like, this young child is the blame because they was on social media in the first place. I also blame the parents, because like, you gotta monitor what your kids are watching and everything like that. I mean, I let my son watch YouTube, and then the next minute, I don't know how he be finding certain things, and I'm just like, how are you finding this? And then I'm like, I do have a premium, I have a premium account. And usually I have him on that so that he don't have to worry about commercials or anything like that when he want to watch his Tech the Tractor or Storybots or whatever on YouTube. I also have Netflix so he can watch it on there, but he always goes to YouTube. Like, that's his go-to. And then there's people that are creating content with those characters in it. So you type in SpongeBob SquarePants and you could just be like real innocent with it and say, I just want to watch SpongeBob SquarePants episodes. But something real crazy might come up like SpongeBob SquarePants. But when you click on it, it's him doing something really, really crazy other than what he normally does on the cartoon, if y'all know what I'm talking about. But like real crazy stuff. And then you like, my child been watching this? Like, what's going on? So we gotta be monitoring our kids on social media. And how young is too young? I think the age where they should be able to have a social media should be high school age. Should be like around like 9th grade. Some people might disagree and say that's too young, a little bit older, maybe not even until they're an adult, till they're 18 years old, because there's a lot of things that they're being exposed to. Do you know how desensitized our kids are to violence and pornography and everything? Like it doesn't even faze them. They don't even cover their eyes. They don't even think that that's anything to be bashful about or have any type of feelings about, because they're so desensitized, because they see it everywhere. They see it on TV, they see it on social media, they see it, and then they're so desensitized. Somebody get hurt, the go-to emotion is not necessarily sadness or feeling any type of empathy for that person. It's like, I don't care, or let me pull out my camera and get this for TikTok, or get this, like this, oh man, this house is burning down, let me pull out my camera. And like, nobody wants to grab a bucket or see if they can help somebody or pull somebody to the side or help them. They're like, man, this is crazy, let me whip out my phone and everything like that. And I think the younger that the kids get and being exposed to this, we're going to have very emotionless adults in the future. This generation Z and Generation Alpha are going to grow up to be very emotionless. They're just going to be, and it's funny because at the same time they're as being emotionless, they're also very sensitive to everything. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. But we got to be mindful that these kids, I think making a page, if your child is just a regular child, I don't like to say that, but if your child hasn't really done anything yet significant, like, they just kind of like just was born, and you're like, oh, let me make an Instagram page for them. So, because like, no, stop doing it. Stop exploiting your children so you can make a quick buck. I think that's what's happening. I think people are like, there's money in social media. How about, if I have a little bit of like influence or something like that, or let me go through my pregnancy and let me start posting a lot about my pregnancy and the journey and everything like that. Even if it's nothing that happened crazy or stuff like that, let me just document my journey. And people actually like to watch that stuff. There's a audience for every niche. And then people are watching this and they're like, oh, okay, she's pregnant. Okay, let me follow her. And then she's like, oh, I'm about to have the baby. And everybody like, oh my gosh, congratulations. People she never met, don't know. Oh my gosh, congratulations. Wishing you a very healthy birth and delivery and everything like that. And then she has the baby, and then she's like, well, y'all follow me through my journey. Now I'm going to create a page where you can follow my little baby's journey. So like, now all these people that have been following her since she's pregnant, they like, oh, let's go follow her. Like, why are we doing this? How is this entertaining? Y'all ever stop to think like there's no entertainment anymore? There's just like, oh, well, I just go up and down my timeline and that's entertaining to me. And every once in a while I might come across a funny video or funny meme, or, I might come across Think Different TV. But I'm going to be honest with y'all, like half the time I'll be like, why is there such young kids on social media? Like, how do they even know about a TikTok or reel or anything like that? How come they're not still being kids? Like, how come they're not, like, stick with the Roblox, the Minecraft, the all that other stuff. Stick with that stuff. Like, they should not be on social media. They should not have any type of pages and anything like that. Now, before we had like a little, with kids having cell phones. Oh my gosh, like kids shouldn't have cell phones. They should just be in the house, be next to the landline. When I call the landline, they should be picking up the landline and everything should be fine. But then parents started being like, you know what? I'm just going to get him a cell phone because, it's crazy out there. And like, what if he's on his way home and he runs into an emergency? He needs to call me right away. So they started justifying the reason why they should give a child a cell phone. But then they get mad when the child loses said cell phone or trades it for gummy bears or something like that. I don't get it. But now it's like, okay, we passed that phase. Kids have cell phones. Okay, it's a thing. Now kids are able to create their social media on phones. And I don't know about y'all, but I remember when my sister was about to get a phone and I put her on something called Kid Connect. And we had little flip phones. And she really couldn't really do much of nothing on the Kid Connect line. And it's just like that. It's Kid Connect. Like, you got a certain amount of minutes. You got a certain amount of texts. Once you run out, you run out. So you got to be very mindful of how you use your time. I don't even think they have that anymore. I don't think they have Kid Connect anymore. Every kid has like a plan. Like they're like, oh, put your kid on the family plan and give them a phone. And now they're on this family plan. And they got the new iPhone X and they got the, iPhone 10. I mean, iPhone 10, not iPhone X. Some people don't like it being called iPhone X, but it's just easier to say it that way. But the iPhone 10 or whatever. Or they got the brand new Samsung, whatever. They got all this technology. And then they jump on social media and they have access to Facebook and TikTok and Snapchat and in a whole thing with other ages, other people. Like, you got grown ass people on TikTok making dirty TikToks. And it's not like there's a separate category. Like, okay. Like, I mean, there's different categories, but like, it's not like, oh, in order to access this, you have to be a certain age. No, they are all able to access this stuff. Like, it is crazy. So I think the youngest they should have is around like 13, 14. Anything younger than that, they should not have it. I've seen kids younger than that. They legit have reels and they have a following. People are following them. And then that's even questionable because it's like, who the hell is so interested in what a child is doing and not even like a prodigy or the child that is like smart. I mean, these kids are smart. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, them child prodigies that people be like, oh, I will follow them because they actually, like, they doing these shows and they're going to spelling bees and this, that. These are just kids just making reels, using audios like we do, and then you be like, so, like, you go to school, you do all this stuff, and then, like, you hash out, like, 2 or 3 hours to do reels or something like that. Like, that's a work day. And isn't that like child labor? Because if the parents is like saying to the kid, okay, it's time to do your reels. And it's like, at one point, and the kid wants to do it because they're excited about it. I just think it's weird. I just think it's freaking weird. I just think that at some point in time, it's like, there's ages that are too young to be up here on social media. They should be in their books. They should be learning something educational. Okay. Not learning how to put on makeup. I've seen stuff where kids is doing makeup better than I do makeup. Now I be trying, y'all, and I think I do a pretty damn good job. But these kids they be going at it. They be beating a face like you ain't never seen a face beat before. And there's only one way you can learn how to do it. Either the parent is a cosmetologist and they just kind of picked up from watching their parent do it, or They watch a lot of Reels and TikTok and YouTube, and they're learning this stuff. And I mean, it's okay. Pick up a skill. That's great. But then it's like, there's no kids anymore. When I was young, there was no social media. There was going outside to the park, playing, sitting on the steps with your friends, watching the guy you have a crush on go across the street and play basketball, and then kind of like stalk him a little bit, squinting because you think you see him, you may not see him. I don't know. But that was my life as a kid, okay? As a teenager, actually. Up until I was 7 years old, I don't want to say I was sheltered, but I wasn't like out in the streets. Didn't really go out to play that much. And when I did go out to play, like where we lived at had like a gate. So there was no going down the street or going away from the home, because we could just stay right there in the yard with the gate around it and play. It's none of that now. I mean, it's rare to see kids outside playing. They don't be outside playing anymore. If they outside, they on their phones. They'll go to the park. They'll sit on a bench. And they'll take selfies. They don't play. They don't play dodgeball. They don't play tag. They don't play catch a girl, freak a girl. Okay, maybe they shouldn't be playing that. But they don't play tag. They don't play hide and seek. They don't play none of these games anymore. They straight up be on their phone, social media all the time. I'm like, what do y'all think about that? Do y'all think that kids need to take a step away from social media for a while? Just be kids? I don't think social media, Facebook, Twitter, all this stuff, I don't think that is a child thing. Jump rope, double dutch. They don't even do that no more, Tasha. They just don't. Like, it's just so, it's just so sad. It's just so sad. Now, Jax, I couldn't really get with the Jax because the Jax was a little hard. All right. And only because I'm taping this for YouTube, I want people to know that I'm engaging with the audience that are writing in. So don't think I'm weird, just like jumping from thought to thought. I'm actually responding. So yeah, Ty, like red light, like green light. What's the other one thing? Simon Says. It was a lot of different stuff. It is bad. It is bad. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. We're going to have it was a video I saw where it was all black and white. It was a cartoon, but it was just showing the state of the world today. Like, it was a child that was noticing all this stuff, but everybody was in their phones. Something tragic happens. They pull out their phones. They're just taking pictures. They're videotaping it. No emotion. The child is struggling to be seen and cannot be seen because everybody is in their screen. And we need to pick our heads up. When I'm with my son and we're walking and everything like that, I don't find the need to be on my phone. First of all, he's an eloper. He'll run. All right? He's a runner. He's a track star. He'll run down the street. Like, this boy, he be running. Okay? But also, it's just like, I love my child and I like to engage with my child, and I don't want to have to always be in my phone. I don't think there's anything that is more enjoyable than being around my child and seeing just him grow, just like him interact and talk with me, and we have conversations. And sometimes he be taking my phone and be like, I want to watch the phone. I want to be on YouTube. And I be looking at him like, little boy. Like, one time I told him no. I said, you just gonna have to deal with me. You just gonna have to talk to me. Okay? Because one day he's going to get to that age where he actually has a choice. And he's going to be like, do I want to hang out with my mom or do I want to go play Call of Duty? Call of Duty it is. Like, it's just, I'm telling y'all, it started early. I will say, with the chat rooms, my generation came up with the chat rooms and predators being in there lurking. And why that was entertainment, I don't know. But YouTube wasn't really like a thing, and you just had regular channels, you had a little bit of cable, and you had these chat rooms. And y'all remember Chris Hansen? He's like, let me pull out my papers here. Yeah, it says here that you were trying to stick your pinky in a what? Yo, he be just reading the transcripts and you just be like, dang. But them predators was real. They was out there. And how was they getting to kids? Through them chat rooms. And that's what we had to deal with. And now, of course, you could tell your child, do not get in a chat room. Do not, you can't be in a chat room. You can't do all that stuff. But I'm seeing that they found another way to circumvent the chat rooms. And now you got TikTok and you got Reels. So, but then the parents be like, oh, but that's so cute that my kid has a TikTok. Like, they don't even, it's like it's masked. They don't even know the dangers of what they're exposing their kids to. They don't even know that TikToks and Reels are just, we did have the party line. TikToks and Reels, but then again, you couldn't just be on the phone all willy-nilly either. So if you was up there on the phone for a long time, you was on the landline, Ty, if you was on the landline, come on now. Your mom be like, what you on the landline for all this time? You ain't gonna be like. So it was ways that they could have went away from, they could have kept it away from us, kept us away from that life. Now it's so open. Everything is so open. Everybody just has social media. Everybody has a TikTok. Everybody has a reel. It's unorthodox if you say, I don't have a social media. You don't have a Facebook. You don't have an Instagram. You don't have none of that. And it's just craziness. It's just craziness. Because guess what? Now it's so accepted for a child to have that parents are kind of pressured into, letting their kids have a social media. Because they're like, Mom, but my friends, they have TikToks and they have this and and it's parents that are stuck to their guns. Like, my son will not have a social media. His father and I have discussed it, and there's no reason for him to have social media. What for? What for? What is there for him to really do on social media? Who is he going to engage with? He's only 6. But I'm seeing people create pages for their children. And then they say, but I monitor it. Like, their child, I could get into a whole nother thing about how parents exploit their children for financial gain through social media. Because it's a lot of them. And I'm like, hey, do what you do. Maybe one day your kid says something really funny. You caught it on camera. You like, oh, wow, like, my child really is funny. Let me just, start making more videos about him. And, but after a while, that shouldn't be your sole source of income. You get what I'm saying? That shouldn't be like, okay, today, I hope my child says something funny because I'm ready to catch it when it happens. You're supposed to live in the moment. There's so many things wrong with it. I mean, I want to know you guys' thoughts. What do you think is too young to have a social media? Do you think it's getting out of hand? Do you think that people are just too comfortable now. They don't really sense the dangers that are out there and see that there are still predators out there. They just happen to have TikToks too, and they're interacting with your children. Just check and make sure y'all know who your children are talking to on these TikToks and reels. Pay attention to who be liking their stuff a lot too, who comments all the time, who, because it doesn't necessarily have to be a whole DM situation. It could be like your child makes the reel, and then it's always that one person that pops up and likes their stuff. And if it's not like a family member, that like their brother or their sister or somebody that's close to them, or if it's not somebody like that that's liking their stuff first, and it's real fishy, like, I'm sorry, y'all gotta clean up lens, and it seems really fishy, you might want to check that out, because that's the signs. That's the signs. There's somebody out there being very predatory, and they're looking at your child. And I'm not saying be paranoid. I'm not saying, oh, well, just take their social media away. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying be mindful, be careful, because it takes a village to raise a child, right? And I'm just delivering the message. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just delivering a message that we need to be a little bit more mindful about what we expose our children to. We don't want them to be emotionless. We don't want them to have anger. Like y'all ever notice, like, when all this stuff, this social media stuff started popping up and all this stuff started happening, and like people had more access to the news right at their fingertips, and they were able to see more and more stuff, that these generations are becoming more aggressive and they have more anger issues, and we're trying to figure out how you angry. You ain't even live life yet. You ain't even do nothing, but we don't know what they've been exposed to, what they've been seeing since they were younger. If you keep seeing violence and everything, it's kind of like that scene in I think it was Fifth Element. It was Fifth Element. I think they was showing her like a whole compilation. I'm sorry, y'all. It was like they had her sit in the chair, and people that watch Fifth Element know what part I'm talking about. That part in Fifth Element where she's sitting there and she's seeing all the bad stuff that's happening in the world, and she just breaks down. Now, in the movie, this was not exactly a human being, but just think of like your child getting all of that all the time on social media, constantly being exposed to that all the time. And then you wonder why they're angry. You wonder why they're aggressive. You wonder why they're saying stuff to you that just don't make any sense. Because it's a whole hodgepodge of violence and pornography and explicit song lyrics and explicit song lyrics being used in TikToks and reels, and them hearing it over and over and over again at a young age. It's hard. It's really hard. So I said 13, 14 is the youngest I would see a child having a social media profile. But honestly, you have to, every child is different. So, but just like, smoking cigarettes, I like smoking cigarettes is bad. And they say you can't get cigarettes unless you're 18 years old. You say 18? I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with you, because it's like you're an adult technically. And, you can go fight in wars, but you can't drink. But definitely 18 is a good age. I would, like I said, 13, 14, when they're getting into high school, yeah, I could see them having a social media page. 16 to 18, yeah, definitely I would let it slide. I'm just I'm just concerned. I'm just concerned about the state of our children and what they're being exposed to on a daily basis. And you said yes, and we got Smooth. What's up, Smooth? He said yes, and that's when Facebook came out. But I felt we was really responsible by that time. Yeah, I didn't even have a Facebook, and it was funny because I was talking about this with some coworkers at my job, and I was just like, I didn't even know about Facebook until I was at Mansfield when I was attending there. But the way Mansfield put it, and I told them this, I said, I didn't know it was a thing like Facebook. I saw Facebook and everything, but I thought that maybe the college itself just had a portal because it was listed as one of the things we had to do when we got in there. We had to go here, do this, and then we had to register on this portal. So I'm thinking Facebook was the school portal and not something that all the college kids had at the time. So I don't know if I was kind of like duped because it was a requirement and I had to do it. I'm sure if some people was like, you know what, if people knew they had a choice whether or not they have a Facebook, they probably wouldn't. But it was so new and so like, oh my gosh, what is this? That a lot of people was like, hell, I'll jump on. But you're right. You can only access Facebook through an approved school. But nowadays it's like you can create a Facebook. You don't have to have a school. Last time I checked, you don't have to do that. Because then if that was the case, you wouldn't have to. You wouldn't have all these people catfishing with the different profiles and all this stuff. And that's something else. I was just watching Catfish. And that was crazy, overwhelming. Before I'm about to jump on to do the show, I'm just watching like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, right? But it's just crazy because everybody just needs to be mindful of what they're exposing their kids to, what they're exposing themselves to. You got adults that have unexplained anger, and it's because they was exposed to a lot on social media too. They just never, a lot of people don't ever think to connect the two. And speaking of connect, let me connect my phone before it dies. I can't do this one. Little pause for the cause. While I'm doing that, I'm just going to mention my sponsors while I'm fumbling around. We have Anointed Ads. Anointed Ads is an award-winning graphic design and website company. Good. 14 years experience, over 100 websites created. And when you're ready to get your project started, he is ready to work with you, okay? He is ready to do the daggone thing. When you mention Think Different TV, you get 15% off. And you can get to him by following him on Facebook, or you can follow him right here on Instagram. You can check out his website at www.anointedads. That's ANOINTEDADS.com. Or you can call them at 609-534-0237. All right. That's one of our sponsors. And the other sponsor is Euphoria Water. Euphoria Water is the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. There you go. Healthiest water. Hydrate the right way. Get you some Euphoria Water today. Make sure that when you put in your order, you tell Mike, like, hey, Lashia sent me. All right. You can call 267-707-8279, or you can hit him up right here on IG at Euphoria Water. That's UPHORIAWATER to place your order today. So back to the topic, y'all. So yeah, like I said, these kids, they're being exposed to a lot, and we have to make sure that we monitor them and do what we have to do Yes, yes, Euphoria Water. We have to do what we have to do to, make sure that they're not exposed to so much. Think about it. Like my child is super happy, and he rarely has any type of anger issues or sadness or anything like that. I think for the most part we're doing a good job. Uh, Another reason why that is because he's not exposed to so much. He's not exposed to so much. He just watches a lot of happy stuff. And I mean, for right now, yeah, he needs to see a lot of happy stuff. He needs to experience a lot of happiness. And he does have his sad moments, but it has nothing to do with social media at all. He's rarely on there. Like, the only way he know about social media is through me or his dad, but he don't be on there. I just did a couple of reels with him, but he's just so carefree, and it's not like he's saying, oh, I want to make a reel or I want to make a TikTok. He's not even saying that. It's just something that I just do. I don't know, guys. I've seen 18, I've seen 16, I've seen 13, 14. I think that if they want to just start off small, you get them a little TikTok when they in like 13, 14, between 14 and 16. A TikTok when they're 18, they can have a Facebook, Twitter, and all that other stuff. There's so many different social medias out there, and it's going to be more created. And we just got to be mindful that we're exposing our kids to a lot. They see a lot. People post crazy stuff all the time. Sometimes I even got to unfollow some people because they just be posting stuff that is just crazy. Like, when all those deaths were happening with, unarmed African Americans getting killed by police officers and stuff like that. And it seemed like everybody wanted to post a video of the person dying. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, how many times do I have to see this person dying over and over and over again? Smooth says, you know what? I agree. My two oldest are 11 and 9. My son and daughter, and they have a lot of unexplained anger. I believe it's the nature of seeing other individuals living in a false state of life. And that's true too. And then it's also like, that's giving them, they keep saying, oh, the only way that I could be successful is to have a social media or be an Instagram star, or, there's no inspiration to be anything else. But I do see that there are creatives, like artists, like Imitation by Jarrell. I'm really mad that I'm in a different setting because usually his painting is right behind me. Imitation by Jarrell. There are artists out there. There are singers. There are creators. There are filmmakers. There are people that have Instagrams, and they show what they do, and they show their process. And I think it's so dope. The booming of businesses and everything like that. So they're seeing entrepreneurship on TikTok. So there's pros and there's cons, and that's a big pro, where they can see people that look like them, in our community, when they see people that look like us being successful, and they're on Instagram and everything like that, and they're successful by doing something like, other than just sports or just, it's crazy when you see people. I don't even know. I'm all tongue-tied. Let me just read what Smooth wrote. Desensitizing at all angles, but yes, I agree. Just like MySpace. Oh yeah, we did have MySpace and Black Planet. I remember that. We was learning how to code at an early age, so I'm trying to learn the balance of it all. Okay, yeah. So that was a good thing about MySpace and Black Planet, is that they was teaching us how to code, and that was an actual learning, like hands-on. You was learning how to make the scrolling text, or if you wanted to make your pictures blink, or if you wanted to, like, now all you got to do is just select that you wanted to blink, or you select that you wanted to scroll, and it'll do it for you. But there was a lot of, I do remember putting in a lot of codes. I do remember that. And just to put a picture on your page, it's like you definitely had to put in the code to put the picture on the page, and you had to put the JPEG image, and then you did all that. I did all that. And I will say that was fun. That was fun. Who could create the best page? Who had the most popping page? To know that you actually had a hand in creating it. Yeah. So there was good things about that. But I think that the crazy thing about it now is that they don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. They don't have to put in the codes. They don't have to do all of that stuff. All they gotta do is just type in that they want to create a page, and they just post their pictures, and that's it. And just, write statuses, and it's crazy. But yeah, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get greater later. I really hope so. I really hope that it does. But yeah, that was the topic tonight. So, how young is too young for social media? How old is too old? I touched on that briefly, but I think at one point in time is just like 70, 80-year-olds are going to be on social media, but it's because we actually grew up with it, and it's creating more consumers than producers. That's true. Who makes the most money? Buyers or sellers? Well, obviously the sellers, because the buyers are buying and they're spending their money and they're not saving. And the sellers are just collecting. And yeah, you're right. Every time you turn around, there's an ad. There's something. Yeah. Facebook, would you even create an ad for your business? It costs money. Yeah, it's crazy. So that was the topic for the night. What did you get out of that, guys? Please leave your comments below the video once I post it. How do you feel about it? How young is too young for social media? Do you think it should be 13, 14? Do you think it should be 16, 18? Do you think they should have certain types of social media at certain ages? Do you think that they shouldn't even have social media at all? I know there's people out there are dead set against having social media. I don't want a social media. Do not give me a social media. I don't want a social media. So, what do y'all think? Please share your comments below the video once it's posted. I am excited. I want to hear from you guys. Now, I'm going to mention the sponsors one more time. I know I mentioned them like 2 seconds ago, but I'm going to mention them one more time because without them, I wouldn't even have this awesome show to give to you guys. So, once again, Anointed Ads, award-winning graphic design and website company. I'm telling you, over 100 websites created, 14 years experience. The guy, Phil, he's so professional. He created the flyer for my show. He's created flyers for me in the past for my financial business. So he knows what he's doing, okay? And he's created his own website as well as countless others. And he's just going to keep on going. He has eye-catching designs. That way, a Phil flyer, an Anointed Ads flyer, an Anointed Ads website, because he's just that good, and he has a signature look. You get what I'm saying? And that's very hard to pull off, but he just has it. He just does it. And when you're ready to get your project started, make sure that you mention Think Different TV so you can get 15% off. And cost $609-534-0237 so you can get it started, or you can hit him up on his website, or you can hit him up on IG or Facebook, all under the same name, Anointed Ads, ANOINTEDADS, Anointed Ads. And then we have Euphoria Water, the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Okay, all right. If you're gonna hydrate the right way. Okay, we don't want these this water with chemicals and additives in it. Ugh. We want alkaline water with minerals. That's what we want, okay? We want to hydrate the right way. Celebrities and athletes alike love Euphoria Water. I know because I'm a celebrity and I love it. So make sure y'all go out there and get it, okay? You can go right to Euphoria Water right here on IG, or you can call the number 267-707-8279. All right, guys, that's our sponsors. And now we're going to get into this financial tip. So, how many people have done their taxes? Raise your hand. Have you done your taxes? Have you done your taxes? Oh. Now, how many of you guys actually had a lot of expenses that you could write off? Or could even write off expenses? Did you just have a W-2? Did you have a 1099? What did you have? Now, I am so happy because on top of me having a W-2, I also had several 1099s. And I'm telling you, 1099s are fine. All right? Now, a lot of people, when they file their taxes, I've heard so many complaints. People like, oh man, I wish I could write this off. I wish I could write this off. I wish I could write this off. Well, guess what? When you have a business, baby, you can write a lot of stuff off. And of course, this is legit. This is not, and I want to preface this by saying I'm not a tax preparer. I am not a tax, none of that. I'm just somebody that does her own taxes and knows like what to write off and what not to write off and what, And I'm telling you, y'all, if you don't start a business like now, what you doing? What are you doing? Let me tell you the businesses that I have. Okay, so I have a Mary Kay business. I also do life insurance with Primerica. I also am with they changed the name to Ultimate Wealth Educators. But it was formerly FES, all right, Financial Education Services. I'm telling y'all, I had 1099s out the yin yang. All right, so when I did my taxes, I had to wait a while because everybody was doing their taxes like at the end of January. Now, when you just have a W-2 you gotta worry about, or two W-2s, like them W-2s be coming like probably at the beginning of January. They're getting better with it. They come like the 15th of January. You have your W-2 in your mailbox ready for you. That's why a lot of people are able to do their taxes so early because they want to get their money back really quickly. But someone like me who has businesses and I gotta wait for those 1099s, I gotta wait for all the other paperwork to come in before I can sit down and actually do my taxes. And it is tedious when you're doing it by yourself. But I just feel when I do it by myself, first of all, I keep more money in my pocket. Second of all, I feel like I'm so meticulous that I'm not going to forget anything. And I'm just going to be like, everything is going to be covered. I hate leaving my money in someone else's hands, if that makes any sense. So when it comes to filing my taxes, I'm very like, gotta have all my paperwork, gotta have all this stuff. Now, I didn't know it was one more thing coming in. And so I don't know how that would have affected my taxes, but whatever. It is what it is at this point because it's already filed. Now, when you have a business, first of all, let's go with the W-2. When you have a job, you can't write off your mileage. You can't write off your transportation to and from work. Like, and I say that because some people don't use a car. They use Uber or I'm in Philly, so they use public transportation using SEPTA. You can't write that stuff off. You can't write off your clothing. You can't write, unless it's the work uniform. You can't write off a lot of stuff when you have a W-2. It's frustrating. When you just have a W-2, you're like, okay, I put in my W-2. You get that back, and then it's like, you have to figure out what else can I write off that I can get a substantial return. And that's why a lot of people have a lot of babies, because they got that child care credit. But I'm gonna tell y'all one thing, that ain't gonna amount to a hill of beans for real. Because once they age out, they age out. Now, a business, when you have a business, that's forever, baby. That's forever. As long as you continue that business and continue to get those 1099s, you're going to be able to bank on that forever. But your kids, you can only claim for so long. And that's where there's a little bit of a problem. So, definitely, like, start a business. Because let me tell you all the great things that a business can get you, okay? Now, first of all, you can write off your mileage. You can write off your meals. You can write off your phone bill. You can write off part of your home as a home office. You can write off, oh my gosh, certain clothing, business attire. You can write off, let's say you get certain equipment to do your business. You can write that off. Let me give y'all a little story. When I started, my very first business that I started was Primerica. And I did not have hesitation about it. First of all, I had the money. So it wasn't about the money to me. It wasn't about if I could do it or not, because I was very passionate. I still am very passionate about the mission of the company, which is to create generational wealth, but also to make sure that every family is covered and protected, as well as on their way to, well, I just said generational wealth, but you do that by making sure that you invest the difference and you're investing too. So it wasn't a hard decision for me to join the business. I know that when I first started, I had life insurance already through another company. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to put them on blast, but they was doing me dirty. And when I found out how they was doing me dirty, and then I learned about Primerica and I switched over, I was like, I want to help people how I was helped. And that's the reason why I got into what I got into. Now, a lot of people have different reasons why they would join the business, but that was my reasoning. So I had no hesitation or, oh, call me back. I don't know if I want to do it. I'm not sure, this, that, and the third, because I believed in the mission. I believed in everything that was going on with it. And I wanted to make sure that I was passing down what I learned from this company. Okay. And why not get paid doing it? So I went and got my license and everything and did all of that. Also, it was $125 when I joined in. It's still $125. Sometimes they even go down as low as $74 to get your licenses and everything. But people gave me so much grief about joining because they didn't have the money. They didn't have $125. Now, if you tell me I don't want to join because I don't really believe in the mission like that, and you know that's not something I really want to do, okay, that is a valid reason why not to do it. Okay, I won't push it. But if you tell me it's because you don't have the money, I'm gonna have issue with that for the simple reason that it's like you don't want to start a business because you don't have the money. But I see people, the certain people that I was talking to, I see them spend money on a lot of different stuff. And yeah, you can't count people's coins and you shouldn't be looking at what people be spending. But I just thought that was kind of outrageous. Don't tell me it's too expensive, because $125 is not a lot of money. So, I mean, it's a lot of money when you don't have money and you're like, oh my gosh, I need $125. But it's not a lot of money in the big scheme of things. So this is why I bring that up, because the $125 that was spent when I started the business, the next year, I wrote it off as a startup cost. So I got that money right back. And then And then there's also a fee to keep running your business. And that was $25, which wasn't nothing because I spent more than that in Wawa in one day. So I was like, okay, well, I could do the 25 a month. So the 25 a month, believe it or not, you can write that off too. Also, that same year that I started with the business, I was using my phone a lot to make contacts and all that stuff. So guess what I wrote off? My phone bill. And then sometimes I would work from home. So guess what else I wrote off? Part of my home as a home office. Oh, and when I would go to business meetings and I would take Uber, I would write that off too. And that same year in November was my first ever trip to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And that's why earlier I was telling Ty, like, we want to get out to North Carolina. Trust me, one of these days I'm going to come out there. Went to Winston-Salem, North Carolina for the convention. Got a hotel room. Got all this different stuff in place. And guess what? Wrote that off too. Y'all need to stop playing get y'all business. I don't care what kind of business y'all get. Get a business. Oh, it is time. It is time. Aren't y'all tired of the system that they keep gaming you? Wouldn't you want to just have a leg up and stop worried about, oh, I'm only getting a $500 tax return. I'm only getting a $1,000 tax return. Well, you want to look at it and be like, dang, I'm getting like a $6,000 tax return because I got a business and I've been, you get what I'm saying? Like, stop wasting time. Go and get yourself a business. This is my financial tip for y'all. If there's a business opportunity that comes your way, please don't have a poor mindset. Oh, Smooth, yes. Oh, I do mine on TurboTax. Real quick, sidebar. Smooth, I do mine on TurboTax because he said, I have several businesses, but I do not know the process of writing off or filing my own taxes. Does this service show step by step? On TurboTax, if you file under self-employed, they walk you through every step. But if you need help with that, please give me a call at 267-225-1824 if you haven't filed your taxes yet. If you've already filed your taxes, what I could do is next year when you're ready to file your taxes, you just give me a call and I can walk you through the steps. No problem. Now, I do want to once again say, I am not a tax preparer. I'm just somebody that just does her own taxes. And I just know the different things that you can write off. And that's when people that do Uber, and you get a 1099 for Uber, say that it gets slow. Oh, if everything is right on my bio, if you go to my bio and click on that link, contact in bio, everything is on there. Everything is on there, even my phone number. But I'm going to say it once again, 267-225-1824. So don't call me now because I'm doing the show. But definitely give me a call so that I can help you with that. Now, I'm telling you, the stuff that I write off, and it don't be like, oh, I'm just randomly just writing stuff off. I do think of stuff that pertains to my business. Of course, your phone, Uber drivers. I'm like, how y'all get a 1099 and everything like that? And one person, they said they've been doing Uber and they get a 1099 and they file their taxes and they don't write off their phone bill. Why not? Don't you need a phone to do Uber? Last time I checked, you definitely need a phone to do Uber. You need to be able to access that app, and then you had a phone right there to show you all the directions. So what are you doing? If you drive Uber, please write off your phone bill and stop playing these games. If you wear glasses, If you wear glasses and you have a prescription and all that stuff, you got contacts and you drive Uber, don't you need to see to drive? You don't write off them daggone eye exams. Write off them eye exams and them prescription glasses. Write all that off. You could do that. You need that. You need your sight to see to drive. Like, you know, I know this is overwhelming. I know this is blowing y'all minds right now, but I'm telling you, when you drive Uber and you drive Uber, what is Uber XL, or if you have like one of them ritzy, the higher price ones that I don't never use. I want to use one of these days, but if you don't never use them, well, I don't never use them. But if you are the person that your phone is 50% of your rideshare business, exactly, and people don't be writing it off. I be like, you pay how much every month for a phone bill? And then they can't say, well, what percentage? Because, honey, what percent of my phone bill goes towards doing Uber? 100% of it, because I can work at any time, honey. I can turn that app on at any time, honey. So yeah. Anything, phone accessories, the little they say make sure you had a little clip to put your phone up, everything like that. Your charger, you know, if you buy a charger for your phone or buy the little clippy thing for the car, keep that receipt, write that off. That's part of your business. Now, back to the Uber XL and the limo stuff, right? If you drive one of those and you know you gotta have a professional attire on, you can't just be wearing just anything, you know. Get the attire and write it off, business attire. Come on, y'all. Come on. I know I'm talking to somebody out there. I hope somebody hear me. Write it off. Just like that boy off of Schitt's Creek. Write it off. It's a write-off. It is a write-off. I would, you know, if you want to start now to prepare for next year, I would say keep a record of your receipts. Make sure you put them to the side in a little thing. I'm show you. I don't want y'all to see too much of my room, like, because my room look crazy, but hold on real quick. Get y'all one of these. Y'all can get them from Walgreens or whatever. Get y'all one of these. Put all y'all receipts in it. Put y'all receipts in that joint and make sure that everything is or you can get e-receipts. E-receipts is good too. But if you're like me, you're old fashioned, you want to keep your receipts because you never know. Like sometimes receipts do rub off and stuff like that. But they also have you can take pictures of them if you don't want to get e-receipts and you want to like take like you get a receipt and you take a picture of it, you save it. All right? Put it in a file. Like, there's so much you can do. There's so much you can write off. Anytime you travel for business, now this is a given. Anytime you travel for business, write it off. Make sure, because they do give you the option when you have when you get a hotel room, they do ask you if you real quick, I want to shout out Lady Ree. What's up, Lady Ree? Mwah, I love you. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Let me see. When you get a hotel room, they ask you, is this for business or is this personal? Business. Because I could do what? Write it off. Trying to tell you. So many things. Women. Y'all gonna love this. You see my face is beat. When you have a business, you always have to look your best, honey. You gotta give them face. Write your makeup off. Them shoes that hurt your feet that you just bought because you got a business and you gotta look like a business woman, business professional. Write it off. I already told y'all about the meals. Don't get me started on the meals. The meals, I be writing them off. Business luncheon, business dinner. Lure. Come on now. Come on. I know I'm talking to somebody out there. What else is something that I just said it the other night? Anything that has to do with your business. Oh, this is a good one. This one I love so much. All right. So real quick, I know if somebody have kids. Lady Ree, I know you got a son, right? And I know at one point in time you was doing Mary Kay, you was doing, and yeah, girl. And with Mary Kay, I hope you was writing off all that money you was. If you did Mary Kay and you know how you got to do that $225 a month, that way you can stay within that. I wrote that off too. Why not? I was investing in my business. I wrote that off too, honey. Yes, I definitely did. So all that money that I thought I lost by not getting them sales, like I pretty much recouped that. But if you got a child, y'all, and let's say you got a business, and your business, you get it printed on a shirt. Hear me out now. You get a printer on a shirt that fits your child, and your child wear your shirt, and you're walking around advertising your business. They are now an employee of your business. They are actively advertising your business. You can get up to I believe, $12,000 write-off for that. Yup. Because they're like your employee. You're paying them pretty much $1,000 a month to walk around with your shirt on, to advertise your business, to drum up business. When you do a TikTok reel, and your child is old enough to help you advertise your business, if you don't get them in on them reels, you better do it. Because guess what? Now they are your employee. Okay? Write it off. Up to $12,000 worth. I'm telling you. These tips is gold. Like, y'all should be writing this stuff down. Listen, the replay will be available when I log off. It's going to be available in my IGTV under Think Different TV series, or I'm also going to upload it on my Think Different TV page on my YouTube, because a lot of people don't have IG, so I want to make my videos accessible to everyone. So it's also going to be on YouTube once I'm done. What else? Hair appointments. Once again, men and women, because I know there's men out there, they're rocking it natural, they getting the dreads done, or they even getting a haircut. Women, y'all getting y'all hair, fried dye, laid to the side. Hair appointments. What you put into your appearance can be written off as a business expense. Especially if you have a legitimate business that requires you to look your best. If you got a Mary Kay business and you walking around with your hair looking like who did it and why. And even if you do your own hair and you gotta buy hair products, like what did this take? This took I used Secret Mud shampoo and conditioner. I also used Chosen Hands hair oil and leave-in conditioner from Chosen Hands, black owned business, Chosen Hands. Check them out. And but I had to get that stuff. The crazy thing about the Secret Mud shampoo and conditioner, like, that's also a company that I work with. So yeah. Yeah. So I'm telling you, everything that goes into your appearance, for jewelry you have to buy, for for you to look presentable for your business, write it off. Like I said, Uber, you can even do that with Uber, because you can't be looking crazy. Anytime you get your car detailed, all that stuff, car washes, all that stuff, write it off. A lot of people say when they say they write off their car's expenses, they be thinking like maintenance. But you could also write off like your insurance. You can write off your car payment. Because without your car, you can't do the business. But also that includes cosmetic things too. But I don't mean like cosmetic, like putting rims or anything on your car. I'm talking about like keeping it clean, like detailing and stuff like that. Like you could write that off. I don't want to hold y'all up too much longer, but I think I pretty much... Oh, electricity bill. I wrote that off too. If you pay for Wi-Fi, you pay... If it's like a package, you got to pay for Wi-Fi and stuff like that to keep your business running in your home. Write that off. What else? There's just a lot of things. There's a lot of things you can write off. I like to stick to stuff that's like a recurring payment. That way it's easily documented. A lot of stuff comes right out of my checking account and under the name of it too, so that you definitely can see where that transaction went, if it went to Pico, if it went to this, if it went to that. So definitely write off your electricity bill. That's if you're doing a home office thing. What else? That's pretty much it. It's a lot more, but because I'm kind of just going off the fly with this, because I literally just did my taxes not too long ago. So a lot of it's still fresh, but I think I pretty much covered everything, and I hope that y'all wrote this down. And if y'all didn't, hey, Mother of Mystery, how you doing, boo? Formerly Mama Mist. If when I post this, make sure that y'all go ahead and take this stuff down. If you haven't done your taxes already and you have businesses, especially them 1099s, honey, you get them 1099s, it's a whole new world opened up to you. Whole new world opened up to you. Nothing wrong with having a W-2 that's saying that you're working. But, oh, you still Mama Miss, they just playing with your account. Oh, you got hacked or something happened with your account. That's happening to a lot of people. That's crazy. That's crazy. But definitely, or did you say something you was supposed to say and now they trying to block you? they put you on punishment. That's been happening a lot too. IG is getting very sensitive. Oh, shadow ban. Oh, that's another thing. Oh, I hate that. That's cause you bringing a realness and you trying to do something positive, so they shadow being you. That's what they be doing. That's what they be doing, honey. But definitely, y'all, that was my financial tip for the night. It was a lot in that. The biggest tip of all that I want you to get out of that is, if you haven't by now, start a business. I don't care what you start a business in. LLC, EIN. LLC, EIN. Or you can simply join in a business that's already established, like how I do Mary Kay, and I do Primerica, and all those businesses that are already established, and you can come into as an independent contractor. So you can get that 1099. Then you can write things off. So just make sure that y'all pay attention. Save y'all receipts. If y'all preparing for next year, save the receipts. If you haven't done your taxes this year yet and you need help, please hit me up. Again, my number is 267-225-1824. You can call me between the hours of 9 and 5. Well, let's say 9 and 3, because I do have to work my job. So 9 and 3. And that way I can give you tips and we can walk through it and everything like that. You can give me what kind of business you have, and I can tell you just from my experience, because once again, I'm not a tax preparer. I prepare my own taxes. That's about as far as it goes. But I am here if you need any examples on what you can write off. Write-offs are a big thing when you have a business. I know Mary Kay, only $30. $30, and then getting my product was $225, so at the most $285. $285, and then I get a $10.99, and then I can write it off. Like, it's a win-win, honey. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. And I'm tired of people losing. I'm just tired. That's why I'm going to share this information, because you lose out on a lot of money when you say, I'm just going to work a job. Because with a job, there's a lot of things you cannot write off. You're pretty much stuck. And I don't want any of us to be stuck anymore. I want us to all prosper and all, use our resources and use the education of what we, apply the knowledge that we learn and really come out on top. It's about time. All right, y'all. So that's my financial tip for the night. Was that beneficial for you? Did you get a lot out of it? Did you get a lot out of the social topic tonight? Do you have further questions? Do you have comments about the social topic? Let me know. All right. Before I wrap it up, I got to shout out my sponsors one more time, because without them, this show, Think Different TV, could not be made possible. And that's why I'm going to shout them out right now. I'm not going to waste any more time. Anointed Ads, an award-winning graphic design and website company. 14 years experience, over 100 websites created. Amazing work. Eye-catching designs. He even created the flyer for my show, Think Different TV. His name is Phil. He's very professional. He's also created flyers for me in the past for my financial business. When you're ready to get your project started, give him a call at 609-534-0237. You can check out his work at www.anointedads.com. That's ANOINTEDADS. All right. And when you mention Think Different TV to Phil, he's going to give you 15% off of your project. And then the other sponsor we have is Euphoria Water. Euphoria Water is the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Alkaline water with minerals, no additives, no chemicals, okay? And, I mean, if you're going to hydrate the right way, all right? I have it right here. Have my gallon, okay? He does the gallon. He does the little small ones that you can take on the go with you. this water is the truth, okay? When you're ready to place your order, make sure you visit Euphoria Water right here on IG. That's UPHORIAWATER. Or you can call the number 267-707-8279 so you can place that order, okay, for that water. And the other thing about Euphoria Water is that they just recently teamed up with another business, and that business is Be Inspired. And Be Inspired, along with Euphoria Water, has teamed up to create the COVID Be Gone combo. And this is fresh ingredients. I'm sorry, guys. Fresh ingredients combined with alkaline water to bring you an awesome combo that's going to help you fight COVID as well as help you prevent COVID. It's still out there, y'all. It may not help all the way, but it's a good start. So we want to, just as important as what we put on us is the same thing as what we put in us. What we put in us should be more important than what we put on us, but a lot of people are so superficial. So, so they're like, I'm gonna eat this burger, but I look cute. But y'all, I appreciate your time, your energy. Also, this show, Think Different TV, could not be made possible without you, my audience, my commenters, people who've been rocking with me since day one. Also, those who just joined in, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for lending me your ear so I could talk it off for a good hour or so. And I love you guys. And next week, we're going to resume our independent artist spotlight with an awesome interview that I have planned with two awesome guys who are an amazing duo, just getting it done. And it's going to be amazing. New social topic next week, and also new financial tip next week. I hope y'all got a lot out of the financial tip. I just want to make sure I gave enough time to both the social topic and the financial tip this week. And we'll resume the independent artist spotlight next week. All right, guys. I appreciate your time.